is a car up on the hoist that came in originally for the shock absorbers. The guy brought his own shocks, and he also brought me a wheel cylinder to have a look on the brakes on the back. I had a look at the brakes on the back. The wheel cylinder, one wheel cylinder's leaking and the other one's seized up. And of course the shoes are no good. But you've seen me do brake shoes and stuff on the back of MGBs before, so I was just going to show showing the change in the front shock absorber. But one of the first things I noticed about this car when I was doing it, just even on the back, is when I undo the spinners on the wheels, everything's dry as a bone. Nobody's looked inside this for quite a while. The maintenance has been non-existent. And sure enough, when I took the wheel off, it's totally dry in the splines, which isn't good. Totally dry. The rotors are knackered and the pads need replacing. But what I'm doing at the moment is I'm going to undo this bolt for the shock absorber. That's what I want me to change. I'm going to take the bolt out of here and undo the 4 on the shock, and then take the shock off, put it back on. So that's basically what we're going to concentrate on doing. It doesn't want the rotors changing or the pads. There's probably about, I don't know, 1,000, 1,500 miles left on the pads, but apparently it doesn't drive the car very far. So I guess maybe brakes don't matter. Anyway, they're just right on the edge of needing replacement. Anyway, I'm going to get on with the top of this first, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I've put a stand underneath the outside of the bottom control arm. I'll put it right on the very end. It's no good putting it under the spring, you don't get enough. If you put it under the control arm, you get enough leverage to lift off the bump stops, which is what we want. We want the tension off the top. So I'm just going to let it down. Okay, now I've just got the tension off here. You can see I'm off the bump stops. So first thing I want to do is undo my bolt going through the top. I've got the nut off the end and I'm just bashing the bolt out now. So now I can pull this out of here. Lever it out. There we go. Now you can see the bushes in here. See the bushes in here we have to get out. Only way we can do that is to lever them out and try and get the inside out first. But we get the bushings out and you can see the shock absorber is absolutely knackered. Shouldn't be able to move that up and down. It's totally useless. So what I'm going to do first, or again, is undo my 4 bolts so I can get the shock absorber right off then. Christ, it's even loose. Bloody hell, these are hand tight. These are actually hand tight, these bolts. Okay, this is the last bolt now on the back. So I'm just undoing it. And then I'll take the shock right off. As you can see, the shock absorber's absolutely knackered. Smell the oil out of it, everything. Anyway, so we just got to get the bushings out of here. I'm going to clean that up and put the new shock absorber on. When I put the shock absorber, I put in a top kit, top trunnion kit, because the bushes are worn out and the bolts aren't usually very good. So what I do with the rubbers, I clean out my top trunnion on the top first and make sure it's pretty clean. I use sandpaper in it so it's smooth. The reason being, we have to get these two rubbers and we have to get them to compress in together, which can be quite difficult. So what I do is I cheat and I put some rubber grease on it, on here. I shove it on one side. And then I do the same on this side, put a bit of grease on it. I shove it in there. Now you can't push them in by hand far enough, you won't get them in. So here's a pair of me channel locks. And I just push them in absolutely as much as I can. I've had to resort to using a clamp with this one because I couldn't quite push it in far enough. It's quite important to get these bushes all the way in. The further out they are, the more you'll struggle. And it's getting the arms of the shock absorber around it. And even now the rubber's coming back out again. Anyway. So that's in about as far as I can get it. I've got at the moment, I've got the arm supported with a piece of rope round here because I don't want it held on by the flexible of the brake pack. So I'm going to prep my shock absorber now. Okay, I have the shock absorber in the vise. And what I'm going to do to it before I try and put it on the rubbers, the gap in here is going to be way too small to fit over the two rubbers. So what I do, I just take a simple nut and bolt and I just put it in there and I'll thread out my nut and bolt. And all I do, after undoing my lock nut on the top here, lock bolt on the top, I just unscrew the bolt and push it apart. Pretty much getting to the limit. And once I get my wrench in it, it off. And it keeps my jaws apart. I'll take all my stuff and go over to the car. Okay, now I have new bolts as well, and I've cleaned off where the shock absorber is going to actually go. The deck that it sits on. So I've just got to line my bolts up now. Get my bolts in. It's got new hardware, 5 grade bolts, grade 5 bolts, should I say, with new lock washers. That's good. Instead of the old crappy things in there. Alright. Okay, I'm just finishing it off now to tighten it up. My 4 bolts all the shock on. undo my bit of rope that's holding the unit up off so it doesn't pull on the brake pipe. Just holding the kingpin up. Just take that off. And now we slide this up in between. It's going to be a bit of a squash this, I think. So what we'll do is put a bit of grease around everything, that always helps. Put a bit of the rubber grease around here, on the face. A bit of it in. Now we're just going to try and line it up here, and then we get our new bolt. There's a shoulder on the bolt, so that goes on the arm. Just got to tap it a bit and make sure that slot is with it, which of course it isn't, so we just got to give our bolt a little twist. If we were paying attention, we would have made sure it was lined up beforehand, but not everybody's perfect. Right then, so now we have it on and our bolt in. Take that out. First thing we tighten up is our pinch bolt. We make sure we get our bolt first through here first before we do that. Tighten that up. Yeah, that's pushed in the bushing completely. Now we have a look, before we do anything else, we have a look to see the angle of our split pin. So we notice where that is, rather than looking afterwards. Put our nut on. We get our slightly bigger wrench on the job. Another thing about having it on the stand, we've got the suspension in the working position, which is when you tighten up any of the bushings or any of the stuff on the suspension, you need it in the working position rather than hanging all the way down, then it stresses it when you lift it up again. So you try and get it in the working position. It's not always possible or practical, but that's what we try and do. So in this particular case, with lifting it up to take the tension off the front is ideal. So we tighten it up in this position, remembering where our split pin fits on the top. So we seem to be okay with the split pin. So we'll just push the pin through. Bend one back up there, put it through there, cut rid of the bottom one. And we're into there. Now I'm going to check my locking bolt again. That's it, bolt. Good. That seems to be everything. One final check on my... That's it. Before I put the wheel back on now, I'm going to put grease on these splines. And I would like to change the rotor and the pads, but the guy doesn't want to pay for it, so unfortunately I can't do things for free. So I'm afraid he's stuck with it. So I'm going to shove the wheel back on, and that's it. I'm going to do the back brakes now, but you've seen me do that before, so I don't need to film that.